the best way for you is to get out, to have to live in a separate house, separate apartment, separate condominium, separate place. He's eating his solid food. Oh, wow. Wow, very good. Oh. Hey. 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 What? Oh, you dropped it again. Hey. Say hi.
Look up, look up, look up, look up.
Wow. This is Cerelac with real mangoes. Ah. Right? What happened? You need to be decent still.
Mama.
You peed on Mama?
So Mama
It's too bright for you, baby. Oh, was that your strategy? Was that your strategy so that Mama won't walk? Oh, just get another pair of pants, Mama.
Yeah.
This is how you set up a diaper change. But you will be at the mercy of your child, especially when he's like 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months old. Oh, that's so sweet. He will be very, what, mobile. Okay. Yes, I won't show the crown jewels. See, before, you can just wipe him easily, but no, not now. He'll be moving around, and then you need to be like the Flash to put on the stuff. Come on. There, and then the other side. Come on. Please stay put, please. Okay. Woo! Woo! Because he does that. That's why it's so difficult. It's getting difficult to change his diapers. Hey! For those of you who are, For those of you who are wanting to, or are already planning to have a baby, or for those of you who are just still planning, you could consider just living on the first floor, okay? Especially your wife, because when the baby gets bigger in her tummy, she will lose her balance. Her natural center of gravity will be changed, because before there was no belly, there was no baby, and when the baby comes, and when the baby is 6, 7, 8 months, he's gonna be, or she's gonna be bigger and heavier, so she will lose that balance. And if she goes up and down the stairs, I hope nothing happens to her, but just so we get to avoid something bad that could happen, that's why we opted to stay in the first floor, alright? And there. So I'm making the slides, finalizing the slides. Okay. I'm almost done. I'm just editing some of the things that I need to show to the attendees later on. People know it in their hearts that in order for them to become successful, they need to work, and that's very, very true. A lot of people, they don't know it, but I think we are more aware of having fear of success and fear of failure than we are aware of being afraid of success. A lot of people don't admit it, but success can be very daunting and overwhelming. And people know that in order for them to be successful, they need to work on it. So that's why they make excuses, but really, people are afraid of success because of the things that are required to be successful. You getting me? So I'm gonna share that later on. This is the verse I've been looking for, so I googled it because it's in Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. And by the way, Guada is not here currently. Luca is sleeping. I hope to show more pics of him or film videos of him later on, but Guada's not here. She went to her shop, which is the printing shop. Okay, so that's why I'm here, and my mother-in-law is there taking care of things. Baby.
Ito karon lang 16.
No, 17. It's Wednesday. Smile. Hello. Hi. You're outside. Good baby. Whoa. Oh wow. So Papa's gonna be going, alright?
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna be back in the evening. Okay? So I'm off to my speaking engagement in Talisay. Just stopping by the gas station and having my tires filled up with enough. Stop over at the gasoline station because I need to take a leak. Okay, I'm near the venue. I'm now in SRP. Akong sa vlog na ko sa YouTube kay kuha na siya murag vlog everyday na siya na akong video log niya. Whatever I do with the family akong i-appeal sa akong kuan murag snippets lang gud. So karon nag-video na ko actually nya i-appeal na mo okay ra. Nya hi lang mo ha. Okay? So I'm now done with the talk in Talisay, and they're very amazing people here with June as the owner of the company. So there are people here who like to say hi to you guys who are watching on YouTube. Say hi. Hi. Hello. And next month they're gonna see you again. So if you notice, this is a dark room again because it's night and I can't really make my voice louder because Luca and Guada are asleep. And actually I arrived home at around 10:30 from the Talisay gig speaking stint. Who among you guys have experienced this? You know, you arrive home from work, you have to do some stuff, and when you arrive, your wife is asleep and your son or daughter or your kids are asleep. It's just you know, what can you do? Men need to do what a man's gonna do. Yes, so you know what I always do when I arrive and they're already asleep, I just really like go near my wife and just really give her a kiss and let her know that I arrived already. And I know that some of you guys are wanting to do better than that. The best way to do that is to come early or arrive early at home, alright? But if not, you know, I'm sure your wife understands that for as long as you told her what you were doing, right? So you tell her, and then you arrive, and they're all asleep, then you can have that silent time with yourself wherein you can just watch them sleep and, you know, peacefully and, you know, knowing that you're there to watch over them. So it's a good thing also for you to have. And I hope that you're not the person or you're not the husband who always comes home late at night. I hope not. I hope you get to spend more time with your wife and your kids at home, and you get to sleep together at home, like on weekends or on days when you're not so full in your work and your business. Okay, so that's it. Peace out. And this day, before I end, by the way, before you finish this video, if you haven't subscribed yet to this video, to this channel I mean, please by all means click the subscribe button, and then if you really like this, if you found value in this, then you please give a thumbs up. It helps me. Yeah, well, I'll be honest with that. And then I'd like to talk to you more about now about a specific topic that most Filipino young men or couples, young couples or Filipino couples have a dilemma on. And most of you there in the West, Americans or Europeans may not have this problem because this is a cultural thing. But I'd like to talk to you more about this, and it's the issue on living with your in-laws. I mean, there's no hating, okay? Please don't judge. But as Filipinos, because we have this closely knit family ties, the culture is that no, there's an option for us to live as a couple in either of our family's homes. And I've asked my elders, my mentors about this, and amazingly, their response or their idea is, their responses and their ideas are very like the same, they're similar. And the answer is, if you can, if it's in your power, do not live with your in-laws. And there's this my mentor, his name is Boy, and we fondly call him Tito Boy. He said that he can't explain it, but if a family, like there's a different, with your brother, with your sister, with your mother, and then you're married, if you share a common kitchen, a common bathroom, in the Philippines we call it comfort room, if you share those two things with the other families in the house, then eventually you'd get into trouble. He can't explain it, he said. It just happens. And he's not being negative about it. He's not even hating on anyone. It is just the norm. And a lot of people, even there are men who ask me, there are brothers who ask me how to deal with that. And I just told them, you can't, the best way for you is to get out, to live in a separate house, separate apartment, separate condominium, separate place, have a separate home. If you can't do that, and you need to deal with your in-laws, and of course you should love them, right? You love your parents-in-law, you should love your brothers and sisters-in-law. But again, it's not about hating. It's just like the dynamics is different. Because as a man in the house, for example, you're newlywed, and then like you're supposed to be the king of your house, right? But if you're living with your wife's parents, or you're living together with other families, then you're not really the king, right? You can't, and you can't live freely because there are other eyes watching you, not to watch you, to judge you, but there are other people who are living in the same house, and you can't be yourself freely. I don't know, maybe there are some of you are optimists and you say you can do that, and I'm not saying this is like the norm in everything. Most Filipino couples who live with either of their families really get into this kind of issue, this dilemma. Again, my first suggestion is really live separately. But if you can't do it and you can't change the attitude, you shouldn't change the attitude of whatever, and of whoever it is you're living with, then the only attitude you can control is your attitude. So you might as well, work on it. I suggest that you talk this over with your spouse, with your wife, and really set a plan and a strategy on how to deal with this. You might want to plan when you transfer, or are the finances enough to take you out of the house and live in a separate home. If not, you might want to just be transparent to your wife, because and it could happen to you as well. Your wife could also be in the same situation when she's living with your parents, when you as a couple live with your side of the family. So it's the same for both men and women. All right. But I think there's just much pressure. There's more pressure when you're the husband, because you're supposed to be the man. I don't know. Maybe that's just it. I don't know if it's just only here in the Philippines, but yes, there is a pressure when you're the man and you're living with your wife's family, in your wife's house. Okay, so again, talk with your wife. Talk this over and discuss your feelings. Don't let it bottle up inside of you, because you might explode and you might have a very big fight. And so that's it. Just communicate, all right? Communicate. But if you can, you might as well transfer. So in my case, the first day after we had our honeymoon, the first day we arrived here in Cebu, because we went to Palawan and we had 4 days there. After arriving here, when we arrived here in Cebu, we already had our home, because we really planned it. You can plan your wedding and your first house, even if you're just renting it out. So while we were preparing for our wedding, we were already planning. We were already scouting the area and looking for a place to stay in after the honeymoon. So after the honeymoon, we settled into our new house, our rented space. And so there are no issues whatsoever. Currently, after 1 year of that, we had to transfer to the subdivision where my in-laws are staying. And as I shared to you like yesterday, it's like their house, the setup is this: there are two houses, and then they're just connected with like a passageway, the one that we had covered. Because I told my wife, I will stay in your house for as long as we are technically separate from my in-laws. And she did that, and we're living now in her brother's home, and her brother was the one who had the passageway covered up with of course hollow blocks and cement, so that it becomes part of the wall. And my mother-in-law and her uncle, every day they go to our house, but that's okay, as long as I can live with that. All right, as long as we are technically living separately, and I'm okay with that. It's not the ideal, but it works. So I don't know how you're gonna go through it if you're living with your in-laws now. I mean, love them, but if the dilemma that I'm talking about comes up, just talk it over with your wife, with your spouse, and just set up some strategies and control your own feelings, because you can never control other people's feelings and attitudes. So you might as well control your own, because if you can't, you'll be miserable. All right, you'll be miserable, and I know that you'll be miserable. So you might as well adjust to the situation if you can't already go and live separately. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this fourth day. I think this is the fourth day. Yes. And thank you so much for subscribing. Again, please click the subscribe button below this video. And if you really if you were helped by my discussion, our discussion, please give it a thumbs up. If you really want to add your own take to it, if you want to share your own take to it, then you might as well go to the comment section below and share. Because I'm not the only one who knows about these things, and maybe you're not having some problems with your in-laws, and you don't have the dynamics of living in. You don't have the problem of living with your in-laws, and it's okay. So you might as well share it to people so that they could have a balance of things. Right? I don't want to sound like you should hate. Never hate other people. Okay. Just deal with the situation accordingly. So this has been Steven, and thank you so much. See you tomorrow.